How do you see the stock market scenario in the India in the coming year? Like, is there a crash? Is there a recovery? Like, what do you expect in general?
So my normal response to a question like this would be, I'll get my colleague Nitin Basin, who's an expert on the subject. He's the head of our equities business. He runs a very, very good equities business. Would be the right person to answer this question. But let me try and articulate my own response. As I said, I don't really study markets in as much detail as my other colleagues do with that qualification. I think the Indian market had moved a little ahead of itself. Some of the economic slowdown that we are reading about is obviously going to have an impact on the market. My own view is that the India economic story over the next 10 years cannot be questioned, should not be questioned, and is a one-way traffic, which is forward and upwards. And if I read that the market movement should be in conjunction with the economic development in any country or the economic growth in any country, then the trajectory of the Indian market cannot be any way other than the way the Indian economy moves, which is, forward and upwards. So I remain relatively bullish on the Indian market over the next 5, 7, 10 years. In this interim period, are there going to be periods of volatility? Absolutely, yes. You're going through some of it right now. There will be times when microeconomic factors and sometimes macroeconomic factors will have impact, certainly on certain segments. I gave you the examples of lending business, NBFCs. If you are in the unsecured space today, if you are in microfinance today, if you are in short-term personal loan category today, there is headwinds, serious headwinds, because the economy, the economic trajectory at the lower end of the economy is struggling a little. And you can see that in extended delinquencies, and you can see that on pressure on stocks of these companies. So short-term volatility will happen. It will happen either industry specific, it can of course always happen company specific, but generally I would continue to believe that India is in a good space, and the compounding story in India over the next 5, 7 years should not be questioned. I have some concerns, whereas I remain very bullish on infrastructure and real estate because of government spending and private capital spending. I remain a little concerned about consumer demand. Volumes are still not stacking up, and therefore in the short term there could be some volatility in that space too.
If you learned something new from this video, do share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you the best content possible. Also, if you want to watch this entire episode, click on the link in the description box and you can go to Kushal Lodha YouTube channel and watch the entire podcast episode. Thank you so much for watching this and have an amazing day.